The beacon in a remote coastal village nested between jagged cliffs and the tumultuous sea, stood an old lighthouse. The villagers had learned to heed its warnings, but many held dark suspicions about its origins. The lighthouse, built over a century ago, was said to be cursed, a beacon not just for ships, but for spirits. The protagonist, Elara, had recently inherited a cottage nearby from her late uncle. Unnerved by the local folklore, she was nonetheless drawn to the eerie beauty of the lighthouse, feeling both dread and curiosity tugging at her each night as she watched its light flicker through the shadows. One stormy evening, electricity was lost in the entire village. Alone in her cottage, Elara lit candles and found herself gazing at the lighthouse with deeper intensity. To her surprise, she noticed the light oscillating rhythmically, almost communicating in some forgotten language. Compelled by an inexplicable pull, she donned her raincoat and ventured out into the storm. Climbing the steep path towards the lighthouse, buffeted by winds that wailed like banshees, Elara could feel the thumping of her heart over the roar of the sea. As she reached the door of the lighthouse, she pushed it open with effort, to find not the damp, disused space she expected, but a meticulously restored interior. Inside, the air was warm and alive with the smell of candles and sea salt. Old maritime instruments lined the walls, their burnished surfaces reflecting the light that inexplicably shone from within. Advancing slowly, Elara's footsteps echoed ominously. She climbed the spiral staircase, her breath caught in her throat with each creak and groan. In the lantern room, at the top, she gasped. There, before the massive glass lens, stood a figure, her uncle, unchanged despite his demise. His eyes glowed like two cold fires, filled with secrets. Elara's mind reeled. Had he ever truly died, or was this a cruel illusion? "Elara," he spoke, his voice intertwining with the haunting hum of the storm. "The lighthouse keeps more than mere sailors safe. It guards against what lies beneath the waves." As if on cue, an icy gust blew through the room, extinguishing the candles. Terror gripped her. The winds intensified, rattling the glass as Elara struggled to understand. Her uncle gripped the railing, never taking his spectral eyes off her. "You must protect it now," he whispered, his form beginning to fade. Suddenly, the floor beneath her shook violently. Outside, the waves leapt up, a monstrous hand of water clawing at the cliffs. The light within the lens flickered madly, casting shadows that danced like malevolent spirits across the walls. Elara, driven by instinct and fear, ran to the massive light switch. As she pulled it down, the beam steadied, slicing through the storm's fury with defiant clarity. The monstrous waves paused, frozen by the lighthouse's glare. With dawning comprehension, she grasped the enormity of her responsibility. The lighthouse was both a prison and a sentinel, keeping ancient, malevolent forces tethered beneath the sea. Her uncle's legacy was now hers to maintain. The village below lay nestled in sleep, unaware their survival hung on the fragile promise of one woman, and the light that never sleeps.